Converting fractions is a fun but very useful activity to learn about. So today we're going to do converting fractions. So I've done this little table. In this column we're going to have the fraction. Then in this column we're going to have the decimal. And a third conversion will be the percent. Oops. If I just extend this a bit, percent or percentage, it just goes beyond a bit. So let's have one of the simplest fractions. So we've got 1 over 2. How do we get that into a decimal? Well, to get from a fraction into a decimal, you need to literally divide. So you need to divide 1 by 2. And you can either do this with a calculator, or you can do that method where you have the 2 here, and then you have that division sign here, and then we have the 1 inside. So that would be 2 goes into 1 0 times, then with a decimal, then you add the 0 here, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So we know that 1/2 is, as a decimal, 0.5. 0.5. Now, how do you get from a decimal to a percentage? Well, to get from a decimal to percentage just means per cent. Cent is 100, so per 100. So what you do is you multiply by 100. 0.5 multiplied by 100 equals 50. Let's do a new box here, 50. So it's 50%. 1/2 is 50%. Now let's go through a few more fractions. So, what about 1/3? Well, 1/3, when you divide it, is actually quite a long decimal. It's a recurring sequence. So it's 0.333 recurring, going on forever. It would be 0.3333333, etc. So that's the decimal. Now if you multiplied that by 100, what you'd get is 33.33, etc. percent, going on forever. But essentially it's 33%. How about a fraction like 1/4 in a new colour again? 1/4. Well, you probably can't see that one. 1/4. So what is the decimal? Well, the decimal is what you get when you divide 1 by 4, which is 0.25. Now if you multiply 0.25 by 100, what you get is 25%. And all of these are incredibly useful things to know. In fact, they must be one of the most important things to know in early mathematics for day-to-day life. So what about the fraction, let's say 1/5? So 1/5 as a decimal, 1 divided by 5 is 0.2. Now 0.2 multiplied by 100 is 20%. Now this time, for the next number, I'm going to give you, first of all, the percentage, and then we're going to get the decimal and the fraction. So if I gave you the percentage 10%, what decimal is that? Well, if you have to multiply the decimal by 100 to get the percentage to a decimal, you divide by 100. And 10 divided by 100 is 0.1. So the decimal is 0.1. And the fraction is 1 divided by 10. Now, 2 more. This time, we have 1 over 100, which as a decimal, if you divide 1 by 100, you get 0.01. And as a percentage, if you multiplied that by 100, you get 1%. Now a final kind of a a little bit of a trick question. What about, in blue, what about 1 over 1? Well, as a decimal, that just equals 1 divided by 1 just equals 1. And as a percentage, if we multiply by 100, what do we get? We get 100%. So that's a brief introduction to the very fascinating and very useful topic of converting fractions.